And welcome to the AMC show. This is Mike, the scale model outlaw, and my co-host.
Jason from KRD, Klein Race Car Designs. How's everybody doing tonight?
Welcome everybody. And Jason, Blue Ox Model Shop, you hit the nail directly on the head. Matt is late again. we held out. We held out as long as we could, but we had to get the show on the road. As you guys probably saw in the thumbnails and the advertisements that we put out there, we are so blessed. We have
Absolutely.
two of the biggest names in the modeling community. There's a lot of them out there. I personally am a big fan of Matt, Luca Cee, and of course, Mr. Mark Batson. We are so proud to have them on. And there he go ahead and bring him up. Go ahead and bring him up, Bruce. There he is, Mr. Mark Batson. Come, whoa, we're glitching.
There we go.
Well, here I am.
We're just
Hey,
gonna go
guys.
ahead and get the we're just gonna go ahead and get the show on the road. Matt will get here when he gets here.
I just got off
Thank
the
you
phone
so
with
much.
him. He's here.
He's here.
Okay.
All right. Well, Bruce will get him up. Bruce is an awesome producer. He'll get him up as soon
All
as
right.
he shows up. Matt's got the email. So, welcome, Mr. Mark. We appreciate you being on here first and foremost. But
Absolutely.
Thank you for the invitation.
Absolutely, and Jason.
Absolutely. We appreciate it a lot. It's the USAC build is very important to me, and the fact that we get to interview you two guys that created this build and find out how it came about is very exciting for me.
Okay.
As me as well. As me as well. So, well, we got a little bit of time to kill between now and when Matt hopefully shows up. So maybe we can talk a little bit about Mark, because he's made it on time. He was here. He was in the pre-production. So uh, obviously, I don't think I have to tell your channel, but of course I will. The Hobby Dude 007. Tell us a little bit, until Matt gets here. Tell us a little bit about where you come from, how the channel got started. Give us a little history about you.
Okay. My channel got started 4 years ago, a little over 4 years ago. I called Matt or Luca Cee and my buddy Clay Kemp. I talked to them, and my wife had been pushing me to do a channel for 2 years before that. Because I was watching other people on YouTube and I was enjoying it, and she kept hounding me about, you should do that, you should do that, you should do that. Well, I'm retired, so but I had every reason why. It's too much work, it's too much there. I don't know if I want to get into that. But you know what? I'm glad that Matt kind of shoved me over the cliff there to do it. And you know what? It's turned out to be more fun. I have made more friends through this, and I had made plenty going to shows and just in contact with people. But this, I've got subscribers and friends that I legitimately call friends in Australia, New Zealand, all over Europe. And we all know Kim at Kim's Custom Garage, and we'll talk about him a little more later. But I wouldn't have gotten, other than through this, to know these guys on a first name basis and really get to admire their work from other parts of the world too. But and here it's been 4 years. It doesn't seem like it's been that long, but it's just been a blast. I'm a car guy that goes way back, as far back as I can remember. My dad raced, had some hot rods. Both my uncles ran gassers and Superstock. And so I was around these cars all the time. So I learned a lot. And hey,
I saw. I don't mean to cut you off, and we're going to let you finish, Mark. But he finally,
yeah, Jason's the same. He knows.
Bruce is telling us. He's like, hey,
we have a very special guest.
Yes.
And
let's get him up here so we can razzle him a little bit. Oh,
there he is.
Oh, there you go.
There he is.
So, Mark,
welcome
aboard. Mark, please finish, and then we'll pick on Matt about being late.
Yeah, do that. Let's see. I'm trying.
We got a whole hour.
I say I'm taking a vote here. I say we skip the whole talking about USAC. Everybody knows about it anyway. We spend the whole hour picking on Matt.
There you go. That sounds good
I
to me.
just-
Are you
Who
used to
cares
it?
about that
told-
USAC thing?
Well, I was told whoever was late had to buy Dairy Queen for the whole team. Is that
There you
true?
go. There you go.
I'm happy to do that, and I will FedEx it to you.
Just
Oh.
kidding.
It should be really nice when you get it.
I'll take the gift card. I want to
Hey,
Yeah.
let me bring sloppy
Hey,
like
do I
the
get a
kids.
do I get a reprieve? Do I get a reprieve because I was coming back from Andy's warehouse downtown.
Oh.
Okay, so it was hobby
Yeah.
related. Are we okay?
All
I was
right.
thinking-
He was at a
Yeah,
hobby shop. I guess we're gonna have to let it
No,
get
Yeah.
up.
no, it's
We
not. It,
gotta
was,
let it
no,
go.
it wasn't a
Definitely
hobby
gonna have to
shop.
let it go then.
It was a
You
warehouse.
have-
Yeah.
It was
It
a
was
warehouse.
model
and I was
related.
delivering. I was
Yeah.
delivering,
How
not
many
receiving.
of us told? How many of us told our wives we're just going to the hobby shop? Only going to be there for like 20 minutes, and then 3 hours
Yeah.
later we
Later.
show up. Back
How
at the
many
house.
of you? How many of you out there go to the hobby shop and come home with a check?
Oh,
what I
none of
did.
us.
Oh,
That
No.
was
That don't happen
Yeah.
too often.
I
I'll
usually have
leave
to
a
give
check.
them
I'll
the check.
leave a check, but
Yeah, I got
I've
to
left
leave the
many.
hobby shop with more money.
Yeah, that's me. I got to give them my money.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I
Same, same.
finagle.
Well, now
Oh,
that
well,
we've got
hello.
the whole crew and Matt finally showed up, and we are going to excuse him because he was at the hobby shop, we can actually talk about our topic tonight, which is,
All
of
right.
course, the USAC bill.
Oh, I thought it was about me.
It
I'm outta
was
here.
for about 5 minutes.
we'll
Listen,
get to that.
I've listened to all the podcasts. You're used to being shut down, so you're getting shut down. We're going to talk
Fair
about
enough.
what's important.
Fair enough.
Yeah, looks like Jason from Blue Ox is
Hey,
taking bets in the chat. I don't know what that's all about.
Oh,
but- Just kidding.
Fred Henry said he'll collect his DQ at Acme when you finally show up because you
when I
haven't been
finally
there
show
since
up,
2021.
we
Oh,
won't forget about that. Is there a DQ in the town there? What's
Here in
that
the
town called?
southeast, there's a
Congress?
DQ on every corner.
Oh, cool! I love DQ.
We got a
Yeah.
Waffle
All right.
House and a DQ on every corner. All
Oh,
right.
awesome!
All right, guys, let's hear how you guys came about to create this wonderful group build that we all know as the USAC group build. You two guys are the brainchild behind this thing. As you know, it's been the 4th year, and it's growing rapidly. There is a lot of talk on
Yeah,
YouTube, a lot of talk on the Facebook page about this group build. Everything that I personally see is very positive, and I love that. And it's just luring people in there. So give us a little history of how this came about.
Matt,
Mark?
you want me?
No,
Okay.
you do it, dude. You tell a better story than I do.
Oh,
All right.
really? Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, 4 years ago, Matt and I were on the phone, and we were talking about models naturally. Why? Because, Matt, they're fun.
They are. They're. I
Well,
enjoy them.
We were talking about when we got into it, and for me, this goes back to 1963 with my dad. And we were talking about some of the first cars we built, and our favorites out of those, a car that had a meaning to us. And almost simultaneously, we agreed that the 40 Ford, the AMT 40 Ford, was among our absolute favorite cars.
Love 'em.
And I had told him because my dad and my uncles with a 39 sedan, 40 coupe, those things, I'd built about all of them. And so we talked about doing a buddy build, just the two of us. And one of us mentioned that wouldn't it be cool if we got all of these content creators that we know? And at that time, there wasn't, but what do you think, Matt?
I think we were
12,
had
14,
like 10.
something like that we figured would
guys.
participate. Yeah.
Yeah.
We thought, let's invite them and see how many different directions and how many takes we can get on this, not knowing what we were creating.
Yeah.
And then we got more than that that number of people involved. And then Matt came up with the idea of doing the a Facebook page so we could track it a little bit. And Matt set up a Facebook page, and then we came up with, Matt came up with Unified Scale Automotive Content Creators, because we're content creators. Or as BG used to say in the beginning, you sucky, and which was fun, and I don't care. But it is.
That was hilarious.
You know, now it's just USAC. So we all did that, and we were very surprised and very pleased with all of the number of I mean, we had everything: race cars, whether it's drag cars, old round track, moonshine car that Fred did, which was cool.
I love Fred.
There was just so many different variations and different takes on it. And so we decided to do a second annual. And again, what we wanted this to be was whoever was chosen or drawn, we wanted it to be a kit that had a special meaning to them.
Okay.
It had a background with them. Was it one of their favorite cars of all time? Was it their first model? Whatever it was, it had to have a special, we wanted it to have a special flair or flavor that kind of spoke of them.
Yep.
And for me, the next year I chose was that 70 GTX or Roadrunner.
Yep.
And I know there was some gripes about it being 1/24th scale, but you know, hey, it was the only game in town. And that particular car is one of my all-time favorite Mopars. Even the petty car that I did of the 70 petty cars, you always think of the Superbird.
Yep.
My favorite 70 petty car was that flat nose Roadrunner. I just love that car, whether it's a street car, whether it's, I've got 3 of them on my desk right now. 3 different versions, a race car and a street car and a drag car. And I just love that car. So that's why I chose that one. It has that special grip to me, and it's a Mopar too. So I had to do that one. And then
by far my favorite video series that you did. I believe you did 4 or 5.
I think it was 4 or 5 videos. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's by far my favorite one that you did. I mean, you've done a lot of cool stuff. Don't get me wrong, but that one is the one I keep going back to.
Thank you.
And why I'm so attracted to it is because it was you did a lot of custom stuff on it. It wasn't a kit, right? You didn't just you didn't just soup up and make a Mark Batson kit. You created that car, and that to me was really, really awesome.
Well, thank you.
I thought that was
thank you.
Yep. And there was a lot of guys that took that car and made it into like a gasser style old 60s, jacked up
Fred
street
Henry.
machine too. Yeah, Fred, I think
Fred did that.
Blue Ox, Jason, he did a gasser style too. So really, that was really a good turnout.
When we went back and looked at those, I think one of my favorites was Tim Kalankowitz.
Oh, yes.
That thing had the stock car chassis, and he had sectioned and everything he did to the body was just, and then to leave it raw like that was just fun.
Yeah. It was beautifully ugly in a beautiful way.
That dude's amazing. He's an
panel.
Amazing builder.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing builder.
Yeah, that was the cool one.
But you know, whether it's out of box, whether it's full detail, it doesn't matter as long as we're having fun.
Yeah, and everybody has.
It shows all of us stuff. I saw 2 or 3 that actually I went, ooh, I like that.
Yeah,
that's something I can incorporate on another build, whether it's a Roadrunner or whatever.
Inspirational.
It's inspirational.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll tell you the one story I got going back to the first one with the 40 Ford. It was Matthew Edmonds' build. That particular build was the one that, we watched him bloom. He got out of his wheelhouse because at that point in time, he was only building box stock. He didn't detail, and he got a set of big fat meats. I remember it was when we were hanging out at the Atlanta show, and him and I were bunking together, and he's getting texts from a guy who's sending him these Pro Street wheels and tires and stuff, and he's getting excited about it. He's like, I'm going to put this on my sedan delivery. And he tubbed that thing, and then he put the paint job, and it was his first stepping out of just being box stock and actually building a model that's like to take to shows and stuff. And that was a beautiful build. It was
that was a very beautiful build.
And that was an award winner at Roanoke the next year.
Yeah, that's right. It was.
Yeah,
That was really cool. It was
Beautifully built.
And I think that's a huge thing that we see with this is it's getting people to take a couple of first steps. A lot of guys started, their channels because of it. They wanted to get involved. Like that was a big push for
well, that year, Matt, we have two people that were getting back into the hobby and just jumped in, one on Facebook and one, I think, with a YouTube channel, just so they could get involved in it. So
exactly. And there was like Jason from Blue Ox. That was a big motivator for him to finally get his channel going and everything, so he could be in the second USAC. And that was, and we're finding that we're seeing a lot of guys this year. There's a lot of people that are finally going, I've been wanting to do a YouTube channel, or I've been wanting to do an Instagram. This is the moment. This is what it'll do for me. And they'll jump in. It's been great. We've seen a lot of cool things happen that centers around people wanting to get involved with this. And the camaraderie is fantastic. The second year, Tim Kolankowitz put us in Model Cars magazine. It was, so many neat things have happened with this. And it's just like some stupid idea that this guy and he had. With a rinkety kit that has been put out since 1963. How dare they round two keep punching out the same old molds? We love it, don't we, Mark?
Yes, we do. That's
turned out a lot of people loved it.
And there's some things you have to do to it if you're gonna. If you do what I did or what a lot of people did, it needs some work. But you know what?
Yeah,
it's a classic. It's a classic. That's what it's about.
That kit. It was when I got into seriously building model cars, adult wise, and getting into the hobby. It was my fourth model, and it's still in existence today. One of the ones that stayed. I took real care of it because it was my favorite one. It was my best model. The fourth one I made. I loved it. It was, and it was the box art of the kit, and I copied the box art. Is what I loved about that kit, that particular version. And most of my versions of that kit is that particular box art, the blue with the black fenders. And I kept every 18 years, it seems like I revisit that model and I build it again to see how my skills have changed. And that's what I did with this one. I rebuilt that model for
what new we can do with it. Yeah,
just to play. I had a ball with it.
So
it's
Tim
funny that you bring up
Customs is in there.
Hanscom from Blue Ox, because had it not been for him, you guys wouldn't even. Well, you certainly would be everything that you are, but Jason and I wouldn't be here because it was Jason from Blue Ox that inspired us to go ahead and create our channel. So the connection to the USAC to give you guys a little kudos and fluff up your feathers a little bit. Well, he got the inspiration from y'all, and he inspired us in return. So I tell you that story to tell you how the USAC and what you guys are doing and what we're all doing at this point helps to inspire other people and get them up and going and give them the courage to just say, hey, that's what we want to do.
I didn't think about that, but wow, Matt,
that's very cool,
right?
Matt, high five.
High five, guys. There you go.
And if I was, I'm not the editor, Bruce is, but if at the same time we should have done a snap to where, we had the snap come together.
That was a good one, Jason.
Hey, that was played. That was
pro, man.
The next year, I did a drawing. If you remember, I had Amanda come out, and we cut all of those names. And I don't know that we got every name, did we, Matt? I think there was like 70 in there or something. And I was joking, going, if Matthew Inman gets it, we know we're all going to build a 48 Ford.
Yeah.
That's his favorite thing. And lo and behold, Amanda reached in there, and guess who she pulled out? I could not believe it. But he surprised us with that 55, which was something special for him. He'd built them before. And man, and by the way, Luca, correct me if I'm wrong, but we almost right at doubled the number of entries last year.
Yeah. Right? Oh, absolutely.
Easy.
Yeah.
And it was just, honestly, there's no way to track it almost now. It's grown that much. And this year, I've put in 3 today. How many?
Oh, really?
Yeah. How many have you done? No, 2. I've done 2 more today.
Oh, really? Over the week, I think I've okayed 7.
Wow.
I did 11 between. So in addition to the guys that are already in, we've done even more. So we know this is going to be the biggest one yet. In fact, I'm still finding people that are doing their entry videos that I had no clue.
And it's a thing that the people that are requesting to join into the group, they have to have an active social media outlet. You know, they have to be
now, that's
continually creating content on model cars.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we stress is you got to answer the questions and attach your link. You got to do that, guys, because we've got to vet these. We got to make sure, because we've had people try to get in that are gaming channels, anything that's not model car related, but they're trying to join the group. So we have to go to each of these requests and check them out, make sure that they're legit. And usually it's not a problem, other than, like I said, the gaming or the
bots,
girl on the beach and that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, the bots.
Yeah.
I almost put her in there though.
Yeah.
The bots,
have a
the
little
bots
fun,
are
man.
horrible. They're
But
horrible.
this year,
as small as my channel is, it gets them. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think we all do. But we check them, and but it has gotten so big that it is very difficult to track. Even though we know how many people are in the group, there's other people that are following along and doing build-alongs that are not in the group, which I think that's great too.
Absolutely.
Then you've got if you've got a social media outlet, whether it's Facebook or anywhere.
It's like we were saying that if you owned a Facebook group, like you just ran a Facebook group, you're not really a content creator. But you know, how can you tell people no, you're not allowed to build a model car along with us? You know, it's just like
right.
Yeah, especially when we want you to.
Yeah, I mean, so if somebody, if whatever, man, we'll figure it out. It's just, it's.
Well, honestly,
I mean, if you really truly want to get involved, this is a thing, for the content creators to be involved together. That was the whole point of it. And so, I mean, however you do it, whatever.
And I enjoy the updates. I enjoy seeing the updates as people are progressing.
That's the cool part of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's
super cool.
That's the thing. We had no idea it was going to get to this.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's going to continue to grow, because that's growing the hobby. That's getting some of these people that have been out of it for a while back in.
Yeah.
Or
That's
getting people actually started. So.
And
I just saw in the chat, and I don't mean to cut in, but I just saw in the chat we did leave out one thing, guys. What is this year's build for the USAC? We forgot to mention that.
Okay. This year, Matthew Inman had the task of drawing or coming up with this year's person that's going to pick the model, and he drew Kim Sundergaard with Kim's Custom Garage in Denmark. So we are now international. So,
we lost Matt.
Anyway, so what we did was
he's probably going to get the kit.
He chose the kit. Well, I didn't think about it. I had mine right here.
I actually was looking for mine too. I don't know where to put it.
And Kim chose the 1968 Dodge Dart Hemi by Revell. The man, I don't have mine in front of me. What's the classic edition or special edition? Or
I've got mine, but I'll have to.
Well, you're getting up to get yours, so I'll
get mine.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
Right
Matt's
there.
got it. There you go.
But you can also, Matt, tell them the other kits that are same kit basically.
Did we lose Matt?
Mr. Norm, Matt,
The Mr. Norms, the 69 Mr. Norms,
and the 69,
The 68 is the Mr. Norms, the 68 Dick Landy car, which is the same kit.
That's right.
And then the 69 Dodge Dart as well.
Yeah.
Just so everybody knows, though, that the Mr. Norms car is a vinyl roof car. So if you're looking for a hard top car, you would have to sand all that off, or you're going to have to find the other body.
Just find the other one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt, are you back?
So Matt, you back?
I don't think he can hear us.
Yeah. I don't think he can hear us. You know what he probably did? Well, no, he's normally on the podcast. He's normally hitting the mic.
Yeah, he was tapping on it.
Yeah. He's probably looking for the kit.
He's trying.
I will say this, Mark. I am very intrigued, and I'm sure you guys are as well, to see what the total car count is for this year. Because there's going to be people that will join in probably even the beginning of November, right?
Oh, absolutely. And, last year we had 2 or 3 guys that joined right after Christmas and jumped in.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, with the truck. Yeah.
So who knows? We may have that again. And that's okay, too. In fact, that'll be great.
Yeah, if they can do it. I mean, I can't do that. I need all the time I can get.
Really?
So
we kind of jumped it a little bit, and Mark, you were telling the history behind, and we kind of jumped to the front because we left out what we were going to do. But you're talking about Matthew Inman being able to pick this year, but we kind of went from the 40 Ford to Matthew Inman. So if you, while we're waiting on Matt to catch up to us here, if you want to fill in that blank for us. Go from the 44, the GTX, and the GTX Roadrunner, and pick up from there. He's
right. Oh, he must have logged out to come back in.
This is the joy of doing live stuff. You just never.
Live stuff is so unpredictable. Yeah, I might be next. So no.
I might be next. The show sucks. I'm out of here.
Well, after the 40 Ford, like I said, I had a special connection with that Roadrunner, so that's what I chose. And man, we had a variety there. And then when Matthew chose that Ford, I did the sedan delivery, and I kind of put a twist on mine, or the panel truck. I did a twist on mine because I wanted to pay tribute to another content creator that, Luca and BG, when at the end of their shows, a lot of times they'll go, "It's taco time. We're going to go get tacos." And they always talked about, if it's them together, they go to Taco Bell for Taco Tuesday. And if it's Brian by himself, it's usually go have a cookie. So I decided to do that taco truck with BG's Taco Supremo. And below that, it says every day is Taco Tuesday. And the whole thing is it's about having fun. And I was paying tribute to another content creator. And I'm thinking about doing that again this year because I kind of sway toward a drag car this time. And I know everybody's got their thing. I watched one, I think it was last night, that they're putting a slant 6. They're rodding it up a little bit, but they're doing a slant 6 from
BCG.
I think it was.
I believe it's BCG,
There's a couple of them doing slant 6s. That Dirt Road Cinderella's doing a slant 6 too. There's a few of them.
She's okay. So that's
well, welcome back to the show, Matt. Nice of you to join us.
Technical difficulties. I don't know. All of a sudden, my sound went out.
Well, you kind of reached up and your screen went out, and then your sound went up. So it was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Talking about
I had to get off and get back on. So
I get it. But
that's okay. You're here.
He's there. He's in the chat. And we'll go ahead and throw this out there now, not to interrupt with everything, but Mr. BG will be our next week's guest on the show. So we're excited about having him on. Today, while I was running my bulldozer and didn't have anything else to do but finish up my binge on the Scale Model Car podcast. And of course, the last Scale Model Car podcast was about the Model Insanity podcast. So what do? I immediately go over there and I start binge listening to them. But having BG on, and then we got one left, and I've reached out to Chuck because we've already had Jason on. We had to have Jason first because he inspired myself and Jason to get on here, and having you guys on here. We're one guy. We got one book. We're one guy away from having the whole podcast on here, but why do we watch this crap? Because he's going to be out hunting. I had to listen. I went a long way around the circle to be able to say, why do we watch this crap? Because I know it makes Matt mad every time we say it.
It will be interesting if he comes on here because Chuck is he's a riot. So.
He's a sport.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sure he will.
Oh, he will. He will. He said he would, just as long as it doesn't get in the way of his hunting. And I get it. He's got.
Just know, Chuck, that you were last.
Here we go.
Think about that part.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Now what have we done?
He'll just
save the best for third.
Yeah, save the best for last. That's what.
Well, again, I started telling you that story. I'm sitting there on my bulldozer today, and I'm pushing dirt around and doing what I do all day long. And I'm like, if this was a church, like the podcast and then the model community was a church, definitely Mark would be our preacher. But me and Matt would be the kids in the back that are not paying attention, falling asleep, interrupting. But BG would definitely be the deacon. I'm pretty sure, and Jason and I and Matt, both the Jasons and I and Matt are probably in the back running our Hot Wheels around on the floor. So.
Yeah.
I remember doing that.
Yeah, I do remember doing that. Yeah, that's why it was funny to me.
So let's get into the third one now, which is the Ford that Matthew Inman picked.
Oh,
which was a great pick.
Yeah. Let me tell you, there was some Brian Burwell's. Wow.
Oh, and, I've seen that. I've seen that.
But speaking of Tim earlier, Tim did that custom.
Yep.
Whoa, that thing was just off the chain as well. But
there was no evidence of
no matter how simple you did it or how crazy you went with it, they were all different. They were all unique to the individual builder. And that was the whole purpose of us wanting to do it to begin with. And then to keep up with the progress of other people, that was fun in itself. And it helps content creators to come up with some extra content.
Sure.
And of course, more content means more subscribers, more, interactions with the model car community. So, I think it's a promotion for the hobby as well.
Yeah, more model content on YouTube itself,
Yeah.
So that there's other things that,
and like we talked about, it bumps that algorithm, and that means we all get to see more. So
it seems like it bumps Ravel's sales too lately.
Yeah,
I'm sure it didn't hurt.
Yeah,
but Fred was talking about
like, hey, we were the first, but what the heck, man?
And this year's. Man, think of the possibilities with this Dart. I mean, wow. I love a Dodge Dart. But you know what? I hate to admit this, but I've never built one. I've always done Roadrunners, GTXs, just Chargers. 68, 69, 70.
Very popular.
I wish somebody would do us a good, and y'all see if you agree with this, a good Charger 500.
Oh,
a good Charger.
They used to.
Didn't
they used to have one years ago? Wasn't there a Charger 500?
MPC did one that was. Had the back window was correct and all that. The nose
and the grill was moved out.
Well, it needed some work up front.
Yeah,
but the back window was right, and it was pretty good. But a good Charger 500 would be a welcome for me anyway as a Mopar guy.
I agree. I do agree with that. So,
Mark and Matt, you may or may not know this, but my fellow co-host, Mr. Jason, owns a racing 68 Dart.
Yes, I do.
And he did a very educational
video
yesterday. Yeah,
You
and,
got the
and I wanted
research sitting right there, bro.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
awesome. He really, actually, there was some stuff that you talked about in that, Jason, that I was like, good. You know, there was, I was hoping I'm going in the right direction with fixing that area. And the thing I want to ask you, Jason, is what is your opinion of this kit, being that you very well
Yeah,
know
yeah.
a
He
Dodge
has a
Dart?
1-1.
I'd like to know that. Yeah.
To be honest with you, I love the kit. I think the kit is extremely detailed. I love the fact that they've separated the rear bumper where you can either put the back of the deck lid in there
Yeah.
and then eliminate the GTS panel in the back. I think the detail on the chassis is better. If my personal opinion, the chassis detail on the 71 Duster is better than this one.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Now,
And I have a Duster as well, so I've worked on both.
And they're
but
technically the exact same platform.
they're technically the exact same platform, but the Dart is longer by just a little bit. Yep. The Dart's longer in the center.
Is the wheelbase the same between the Dart and the Barracuda?
I think it's a little bit shorter on the Barracuda. I'm not 100%. Yeah. I think the Duster and the Barracuda might be closer than the Dart.
Because because one model I want to do later on too is, you know, as much as I love the LO23 and want to do a nice one of those, is I want to do a BO29 Hemi Barracuda. And I was wondering, should I use the Dart? I'm kind of leaning more towards using that 71 Duster as the chassis for that.
Yeah. The 71 Duster chassis is very detailed. The K-frame, the frame rails, the detail in the floor pans. I did that for the Street Machine group build last year. That was a fun kit to build. And I know a lot of people bash AMT, but I truly love AMT kits. I really do. I don't know why, but I do. But the accuracy is really good on that kit compared to my real Duster. My real Duster is 73, which is hard to find.
Yeah.
So someday we'll make a version of that. But what I'm actually looking to do now is mock up the chassis in the 71 Duster into the Demon, because the Demon is kind of crude. To give it that detail that I want to put in.
Wondering about that. I'll be watching that when you're doing that, because I'm very curious about that.
Thank you.
Yeah. You said you have a 73 Duster?
I have a 73 Duster, which is a small tire car.
What is the difference between the 74 and what differences you have between the 74 and the 73?
They're the same. So the only thing that was different is 74 pushed more towards the 6-cylinder economy program. They were kind of phasing out the 318 a little bit more.
Yeah.
Pushing their 6-cylinder, but the peak in the nose is the same. You know, 73 was the first year that they put the peak in the nose. And then 74 was pretty much the same thing. Then 75, they changed it. And 75 had even more of a sharper peak, and it had that top piece of the hood was already towards the front, and it kind of had the Dart wheel well openings in the front as well.
Right.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, because I was wondering, I have a mystery grill that I'm not sure, it's a Duster grill, and I'm not sure what year it is, so I might have to get with you on this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jason, have you seen Model Car Garage's photo etch grill for the 68?
No.
Yeah.
Actually, I did just see it for the first time on Dylan's channel on his USAC entry video. He showed that kit.
Well, they make the grill or the photo etch set for the 68 and the 69.
Nice.
And I had, for some reason, I guess when I got one of the first kits, I went ahead and got the 68 set, and it really looks good. It really looks good.
See, that was a question that I got as well in email with this USAC was, I want to open up my grill. And I'm like, oof, that's going to be tough because it's very thin. There's not a lot of detail in that grill to sand the back out and then not have it break. So I think you'd have to do like what you're kind of, I think, leaning towards is to cut it, section it, and use the photo etch as your bridge.
You showed your grill on your real car really well. That was very good information. That was I'm telling everybody, if you haven't gone to Jason's channel and check out this video, if you want to know some detailed information to make sure you get yours correct, he really, he's the guy to talk to about it. He's got it sitting.
Yeah.
Are you in the same room with it right now?
No, it's in the back shop back here. This is the model garage, and then that's the big car garage over there.
Model garage in a cool shop.
Yeah, I know, right? He's got a 1-to-1 shop, and he's got.
That's right. I saw you had all them.
Listen, I didn't pick him back on the counter. The co-host by accident.
Yeah, so I'll throw this out there. Anybody wants any other information that's not in the video, I'm more than happy to help you with your research. Take pictures off the real car or any of that stuff.
Very cool.
So that's
what I want to do.
We got an in-house 68, 69 dart specialist here. So
that's right.
That's awesome.
My wife's all-time favorite Mopar, her all-time favorite car was her 69 from high school and college. She had a 69 Roadrunner, or 69 Barracuda Coupe, which I did a replica of on the channel. And Bandit Resins had a beautiful coupe body, and so that made it easy to do that. But that's her all-time favorite. That little 318 was a tough little motor that she had in that thing too.
Yeah.
Really
318 is a really good motor. I mean, it's the same as the 340, just the bore is smaller.
Yeah.
There's guys. I had one for a while that was 326 cube, and I hurt the other motor, so I put that short block in there, and I fed it a lot of nitrous, and it still ran really well. I mean, it still made power until she finally decided to window out, but it was good.
Oh well.
I knew that the topic was going to be about USAC, but somehow I knew that this conversation was going to go one of two ways.
It was going to take a curve.
But it's okay. That's what we do.
You get too many Mopar lovers in one place.
Mopar side, or it was going to go towards the round side, and I was like, not sure which way it's going to go, but.
Well, how much time we got left?
We can go there too, right?
But and the thing is both Mark and I, our real racing history is both.
Right.
We come from both.
Yeah,
nice.
So we can go either way.
Track and round track and drag racing.
Yeah.
But Luca, do we want to announce the twist we're throwing into this?
Yeah. What the heck?
Oh wow! There's going to be a twist announced.
If you're going,
here first, folks.
If you're going to do ignition wires on your engine, Luca, what'll they have to be?
Yellow.
Yellow spark plug. No, hey guys, do not take that serious. That is a joke.
But it's going to be interesting. How many?
But it's going to be interesting to see how many people actually do yellow XL wires.
Right. Absolutely.
Fred
just said he's doing yellow.
That was a joke. Y'all put whatever wires you want to on it. If you wired it off, it's fine either way.
If you don't know the history, behind that joke, go check out Luca Cee's channel, and you'll probably have to scroll down because I think he has.
It was like
17.5 million people on there, so you have to scroll down.
That was the Great Father's Day incident.
The Great Father's Day.
Yes, it was.
The only other thing that's created as much interesting conversation is the word I'm going to use, or words I'm going to use, was when you said Rust-Oleum paint.
No!
I said Rust-Oleum paint.
Oh boy.
He's out.
We were chasing rabbits with the Mopars. We're fixing to chase some rabbits now.
Yeah, that's what we should have done. Is said you can only use Rust-Oleum paint and yellow white. Yeah, there you go. Oh,
So let me
man.
ask you
What would
guys
we
something.
do if we couldn't have fun, guys?
Right,
Yeah.
Right.
exactly.
Let me ask you guys something. Were you guys thrown as much as me on what kit Kim actually chose? I was expecting a Chevrolet. I really was.
That
I
flip
think
nose
everybody-
66 Chevelle is what was one of his favorites. Sadly, we also want it to be something that's currently available.
Right.
And sometimes that can be an issue if it's because
Yeah.
we try to let everybody, whoever's choosing, know that, hey, let's try to make sure it's something that's available.
That was something that was funny about the second year. I found that was very odd that we didn't think about that, and then
Yeah, the second year we didn't think.
We didn't think about it. So when Mark made his announcement, it was like, oh wow, this one's hard to find, and it was like a matter of weeks after. Revell, they didn't ever announce it. We didn't know it was coming, and Revell goes,
No.
"Oh yeah, we're coming back with the 70 Roadrunner."
That you talk about perfect timing,
Yep.
and that was just sheer.
But now you went Ford, Mopar.
Yeah.
Oh wow, we haven't had a Chevrolet yet.
Yeah. So that's why I was, that's the way I think. I always think of scenarios or strategy. I'm like, he's got to pick a Chevrolet. We've already had 2 Fords and a Mopar. It's got to be the year for the Chevrolet boys,
But
Bruce,
hey,
Bruce, post that
no,
last
I
comment
am
from
tickled
Fred
to
Henry
death
up,
when.
please. You guys
I'm
got to
sorry,
see
go
this
ahead.
one. Bruce will post it up for us. The last comment that Fred Henry just put about Mark doing something. Hopefully he can hear us and he'll put it up. There it is. And Mark busted his.
Oh, that was that was your year. That's right. That's what
That was my year. Yeah, and Matt pushed off the finish date. What, 2 months?
2 months because there was no way you were.
That was
you
in
had to recuperate.
December the 12th that year, and I was gassing up Amanda's car, her Explorer, and as I was walking around to get back in the car, she kept waiting for me, and finally she got out, and there I'm laying at the back of the car, unconscious, just. And blood, and you can picture your wife getting out. You're laying on the ground in the rain, and this puddle of blood around your head. She was, God, my mother was with us in the car too. So, it was kind of, but
That's scary.
Amanda said I yelled her name. I don't remember that.
Wow.
But they did. MRI and all that stuff of my side of my face and head. And of course, I got a pretty good scar still there. But, a head wound bleeds worse than rich blood supply. So it bleeds pretty tough. But the funniest thing out of that whole thing was when I got the results of the lab test, they sent it in a text. And Luca's already laughing. And the actual report from the doctor said no facial structure bones detected or fractures detected. The visual portions of the brain, to get this, are unremarkable.
Unremarkable.
Boy, did they nail that.
Talk about them more. You are off the chart.
I felt insulted.
And then, and you immediately, I think you were like still in the doctor's office when you text that to me or something.
Yeah, I screenshot it and sent it.
So it's like, oh my
the visual portions of the brain are unremarkable. I'm like, well, thank you very much.
we take a scary thing like that and all that, and all Mark did was just turn it into constant humor and goofing. We knew, he was doing
at the end of my videos. I've got the little thing with the head with a Band-Aid on it. Says a busted head guy production. That's where that came from.
Busted head production.
Well, the nice thing though, the
Matt
one thing that we learned from that,
spent all that time on the chassis of the. Correct me if I'm wrong, Matt. You started out with the panel version, and then Matthew sent you the truck, right? Is that correct?
Right.
That's how I remember it.
Yep.
He worked on it. Then Matthew sent him the truck, and he was like, put all the stuff that he used out of the panel and put that.
Yep.
Continue with that, and then took all the stuff that he used, swapped the kits around, put the box back together, stuck it up on his stash, and said, "If I ever sell it, at least it's a complete kit."
Yeah, exactly. Well, but the year that Mark got hurt and we decided to push it, because there was no way we're not ending this without Mark being able to. I mean, it was his pick too,
Right.
and I was like, we're moving the
Thank
date.
you.
And it actually was really beneficial. Everybody, I think a lot more people finished because of that. So last year we go back to our regular date, and actually, I'm one of them. I didn't get mine finished. A couple other guys didn't get finished. And if I would have had till March, probably wouldn't. We got to thinking about it. That's kind of where, by serendipity, it gave us an experiment. We discovered it might be better to run it out a little farther, and that's why we've decided to stretch it back out to March and just keep it that way.
Yeah,
because
instead of 4 months,
we're
make it
having
6,
this.
and I think that was good. I think
because we're having this. There's such a time where everybody gets busy. We got the holidays coming up right in the smack middle of the build, and everybody's kind of got to take a break from it. So I think this is going to even make it better, because the best thing, the crescendo, the grand finale is that Sunday when everybody drops their videos of their final. That's that's got to become a national holiday. We got a petition, have a national holiday.
There you go.
that we have in March. That everybody's got to be on YouTube watching everybody's reveals. That's a lot of fun.
I agree, Craig.
Bruce just threw up there that looks like, and I'm sure it has everything to do with the USAC bill, but Bruce just threw up there that Hobby Lobby, who used to carry that kit, is now sold out. Right? So we're definitely, you guys are definitely affecting, and we are as a community affecting the sales of the kits. So it's amazing how much, just a little old group build type thing, and has created such a big wave in the community. It's very much like the 48-hour group build, Matt, where I actually got to meet you and talk to you and make that connection. And the Discord thing, the Scale Model Car podcast now has a Discord, and I go on there myself, and I think Jason, you've been on there as well. But that's a great way to meet new people. I know I'm shifting gears here a little bit, and I don't mean to go from second to fifth, but I think that's a great way to get to know new people.
Yeah,
it is.
Trade information too.
Technology.
The trading of information, and to me, building other people's confidence that may be leery about using a certain product. Well, it was bad on this last one. I'm scared to do it on this one. I don't want to wreck it. And to help somebody reassure them that, no, just do this, mix it this way, you'll be fine. That's the part that I like, is the help people.
Yeah.
Well,
that's why we
also
what
a lot of channels.
We all learn. Right. We all learn things differently, and what works for us may not be one of our favorites. Luca, you know what I'm getting ready to say.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite putties, bar none. He hates it, don't you?
I hate it.
Which one?
Bondo glazing and spot putty.
Yeah, I use that.
I used
to use
the
Squadron.
I use that, and I use I got the red too, but I also use, depending on what it's for, the Tamiya regular, the gray.
Yeah.
But I've always had good luck with it, and if it works for me, I'm gonna stick with it.
Yeah, exactly.
And other people, if they don't like it, that's okay. But I have tried stuff that other people do, that whether it's a tool or an adhesive, whatever, that I do like. So it goes back to that learning curve thing that we all want to grow and learn in. So and stuff. I may not always agree, and it may not be my favorite, but I'm one of those that if it works for me, I'm gonna stick to it.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing about and I out of necessity went back to the red putty, and I was very sad about it, but I needed to do that. And then BG enlightened me about something. I've been telling him to make a video on it, and I kind of put it in a little video, but that's not what the video was about. Is he was like taking, if just for seams and stuff like that, he was taking just a piece of styrene, a small piece of this right here, and he was just dipping it into the Tamiya extra thin and getting it, and he's just pushing it into the crack. And I did
like a
that.
TIG rod.
It was amazing. Yeah, it was like exactly. It was like
TIG welding.
It was just like TIG welding. And so
That's genius.
you got the filler rod and did that, and like I tried the sprue glue thing. I don't like sprue glue. That was a nightmare. But this really worked well. And I'm like, oh, I think I found my replacement. And then look at that.
Yeah.
What I did there.
Well,
that's what you did there. You laid it all in.
Yeah.
So I started doing that. And
Mustang. I know that build.
And then I started for like I found that Tamiya, the smooth Tamiya putty is really great for just kind of like icing it out,
Okay.
Just doing a quick slab across there, get everything all flat and it's like, wow, it was incredibly easy, and just everything just turned out really nice. So
there's a very, very, very humorous story, and Jason usually pokes me to tell it because it's a giant I screwed up thing. I'm not mad at the Tamiya, the water-based, they're basically water-based putties. But the problem is, and Mark, I can totally understand why you would use it, because we know that you don't make mistakes, but I made mistakes on that Volkswagen build that I did. If you guys are familiar with it, I ended up dunking it in purple power because I screwed up the paint job because, I'm that guy, right? So I screwed it up. So I dunked. So after doing all the body work, right, got it smooth, and I'm not blowing my own horn, but I felt like I did a really good job on smoothing it out. You could see the seam where the wide body met, because I put a wide body kit on it. So you can see the seam where they met, but it wasn't ugly, Well, I screwed up the paint and dunked it into purple power, and the purple power did its job. It ate the paint off, but it ate every bit of that water-based putty right off with it. Took it all away.
Yeah.
All the body work.
When I pulled it out, I was like, "Oh, Ethel, it's the big one. It's the big one. I'm coming."
There was just a comment put up that
I was just about to say, Steve just put up a comment that I'm interested in knowing more about, because I have not thought about using 3D resin as a filler, but
I have heard about that.
That sounds good.
Well, they sell those kits too, where you get the resin in a pen, and then the light, you cure it. But I've never tried it.
That I'm curious about.
Thank you, Steve. I'm gonna have to give that a look. I kind of like the thought of that.
The thing that I wonder about it is where even Putty does this too, and Bondos and stuff like that. Is does that resin fuse to the styrene?
That's the number one thing.
Does it just sit on top of it and it could break off? That's the only concern I would have.
Because the resin after you cure it gets very brittle compared to the flexibility in the styrene.
Very true. And
so I know guys
when it comes to that 3D stuff, because we all love Iceman and VCG, but Jason's my personal go-to guy. I'll send him a file. Hey man, because he prints some amazing stuff on his little. Well, I say little. I don't mean it like that, but
they are little,
right?
compared to the big guys, I guess. But he's like, hey man, you're interested in those wheels? Yep. Okay. Next thing I know, they show up in the mail. But I'm constantly sending him files. Jason, is this a good file? Because I have heard that's a great hobby to get into. But I've already got enough stuff going on. I don't need
a hobby.
I feel the same way. Feel the same way.
And you got guys like Matthew Inman, Iceman, VCG. These guys are producing awesome stuff.
Chuck's getting really good at it. His stuff's really good. I'm probably going to end up this next year. I'll probably end up getting a 3D printer, but for different uses. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. It's going to be solely for my business, and I'm not going to get into being the 3D printer. I'm going to use it for making masters. Actually, I have a few friends of mine that are designers that they design it, and then I can just take their design. I can start 3D printing the stuff myself when I need it. And
just the master, or are you actually looking to print the actual mold that you would pour your resin in?
No, just the master. I have already done that. It's like I have Mr. From Salvino's JR Models. I've got the prints coming from. Oh boy, why is my brain evacuate from Jim Rogers? Oh my goodness, I'm such good friends with Jim, and he just left my brain. Wow, I'm getting. I wasn't drinking today either. I promise. So Jim, he has helped me out so much with some really cool stuff that I send him pictures of things and just kind of give him like the sizes. And he has designed things that are so fantastic that he will make a master, and he prints it out for me and sends it to me. And then I make the molds and cast it. Like when I came back or started this company, Luca Cee Products, I did the nose for the for a car that he was the one who designed the body, a NASCAR body, which was the Le Mans, and the change the Le Mans to a Grand Am, it just took a nose, and he designed the nose, and it was like, well, of course it's going to be perfect because it was designed by the guy who designed the body. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to do that. And
it's spot on, and it's spot on too.
Yeah, he does stuff like that for me. So, we've talked about quite a few other things we've got in the works, and maybe later on, if I have a 3D printer, I have him. I have a couple other guys that do some design work offered. Based on
what Matt and I have been talking about, I think next year's Saturday Night Short Track group build may have some other unique possibilities, right?
Oh yes,
right, man.
Yeah, a little thing that Mark and I got in the works. We'll announce that at another time, but we got something cool happening.
And just so happens that Matt and I have been talking about some other resin printed not resin printed. So we've Matt and I have been having our little private conversations over there.
Yep.
We probably should let Jason in on it since he's the host as well.
I've been having my own private conversations. Hey, Jason, do you know this? No, I don't know this.
Well, Jason's from Blue Hawk is the co-host on that Saturday Night Short Track build. So,
definitely.
Well, we're creeping up on an hour, guys. I told you both last night when we were there a little pre-show. We usually go about an hour, but I knew we'd go over because it would just be so entertaining. But to circle back around, definitely the USAC stuff. Matt, you started that thread about what everybody's doing, and I was the first one to post. But I've been following along with it. Do you have a ballpark idea how many people you think are going to be in it this year, or at least have said so thus far?
Let me take a look here real quick because we talked about that last night, right? And I know
and while Matt's looking that up, let me say this to all you guys who are jumping in on this thing or thinking about jumping in. Hey, come on and do it. Even if you're not a content creator, you want to do a build along, and you can email any of us pictures. And we'll share those. I mean, it's great because, again, this is about the hobby. It's about having fun, relaxing. That's the biggest reason I still am in this hobby is it's fun. It is my escape, my getaway, and I just have a blast. But we do want to say thank you to everyone. And as far as the future of this build goes, we have no clue what monster we've created even to this point. So who knows what it'll be next year, the year. I mean, we don't know. We don't know.
The hobby's dying. The hobby's dying. The hobby's dying. There'll be nobody there next year.
Yeah.
Right. You really
and I want
to. So not. I'm in trouble if it is. I tell you. So we still have, like, as far as people that put down in a post that I made that was like, hey, who's in? Put it in the comment below. What are you doing? Show a picture of what's your inspiration. and we had 43 people so far put down that they're in it. Was it 40? Yeah, 43. And we now have 156 members of the USAC group.
Wow,
So
that's amazing.
And they are every one of them. They are a content creator of some sort. You know, they might not all be YouTubers. You know, some of them do it on Instagram. I know there are some, and I don't think they've gotten the word over on Instagram. I cannot get Instagram down, so I kind of like don't really go there. But there are some really, really, really good model car guys over on Instagram that are like, they are not aware of what's going on in the other stuff. And we need to kind of get them and combine with them and get them involved. And I know there's a couple of really good guys over there. So,
I think that'd be another great topic for all of us to do on another show, is how to get clubs to be more interactive with each other as well. You know, and help build that, because that's the same with up here in Minnesota. A lot of these local club guys, they are posting on Instagram and Instagram only. And it's weird. You know, some guys just don't like Facebook for some reason.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely, there's people that are growing their preferences, and Instagram is definitely getting bigger. And I don't know. I got 11 thumbs when I'm trying to work with Instagram.
Yeah.
So
the other thing I want to say is to make sure everybody goes and thanks Kim Sundergaard at Kim's Custom Garage for this year's pick.
Absolutely.
And go check out his channel. You will not be disappointed. Kim has just recently subbed to me in the last week, and we've kind of chatted in the comments, and he's a great gentleman. So go over there and check out Kim and give him a thumbs up.
Yes.
Yeah. I subbed you, Jason, but then I unsubbed.
That's a good question.
Wow, he unsubbed me already.
Ted asked.
Just for a goof.
Mike, go ahead.
Ted asked, and it's a good question, and Bruce brought it up on the screen there. Ted asked, how do they find out, or what's a link, or how do they find out about the USAC build, and where do they got to go to get the information about everything they need to know about the USAC build?
Can you post a link? In this?
I think that does. He popped up. That's a good question for Bruce. He's our technical advisor.
I've tried to post that link 3 times, and
okay.
YouTube keeps kicking it out.
Okay. All right.
So sorry guys.
No, it's okay.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
You can find on the
in the comments later.
Yeah, you can find on the Facebook. Just put in Unified Scale Automotive Content Creator. It'll pop up for you. But again, that is exclusive. I mean, you do have to have an active type of content that you're creating on the internet.
And you need to attach that link and answer the questions.
Yeah. Now, for people who want to start getting into it, I don't know, we'll have to look into something that we can do. But as far as really, I mean, you know everything. If you're aware of this build, there's the rules are, it started on the 15th of this month. It ends on the 16th of March in 2025. It's any one of the 69, and the 368 Revell darts that were put out, because it's all the same tooling. That's the one thing we always do. We'll allow you to do whichever kit you get. It has to be, of that same tooling.
Yeah.
And have fun. That's like number one, really. And there's really no other, like I had someone ask me once, they go, well, I want to do this with it. I'm going to change it from a Dart to a Valiant, and I'm going to add a Duster front end, and I'm going to make it into a 4-door, And he says, I was going to do that, but I don't think that's allowed in the rules. And I go, I can do it. I want to see, because he wants to make the. This is another YouTube. It's John Bailey. Scale. Oh boy, what's John's YouTube channel? But he's a guy in the second USAC that did the 4-door police car from the road.
Car, yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
He's in the UK.
And did it,
John, if you're listening,
and did a gorgeous job of it too.
Yeah.
Yes,
Wow.
he did. Yes, he did.
But he wants to do the Duel Valiant. The movie Duel. And I told him, I go,
well, he's using that kit.
Yeah, just all it has to do is start from that kit.
Yeah.
It's like, and all I say is like, go look at what Tim Kolankowitz did. Tim Customs. Go check out Tim Customs.
Yeah.
I think he had, from what was left of the kit, was
10%.
like 4 atoms. He was done with it. So no,
it may be 1 nucleus. But
it's just, you know, this is a do what you want, man. It's all about, you know, it's all about getting creative with it, man. Have fun with it.
It's your version. Correct me if I'm wrong, gentlemen, but it's your version of something that, you know, that kit or a modification of that kit, or just
make it what you want it to be.
Yeah, do whatever what you want.
Is it not more about everybody, kind of like the 48-hour build, which is the same thing, kind of crammed down in 48 hours? Is it not just more about getting people involved, being a part of it? And
pretty much.
Part of the community.
It's turned into It's definitely, you know, it's all about bringing the community together.
Absolutely, and it definitely has. So, congratulations to the both of you gentlemen for doing that.
Not sure if we call you Dr. Frankenstein's, Dr. Frankenstein, or what we call you. But.
Yeah.
Well, it may continue to grow into a monster, and that's not necessarily a bad thing either.
No, it's definitely not a bad thing. You know.
No, you're just going to need help. You're going to need help to have more people involved with the media side of keeping count, or, you know, collecting any kind of data or answering questions, and, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. It's pretty easy to, as far as like keeping account, it's kind of like, it would be nice. It just, if people want to get into the count, just, I mean, I don't know. We'll have to figure out something, but I mean, I don't know if it'd be nice to know, but does it really matter? As long as everybody's getting into it and having a good time, you know?
Right.
I mean, especially when because if there starts being people that just, hey, I just want to be involved with it. I watch YouTube and that's it. And I get on the Facebook groups, man, you get on your favorite Facebook group and you go, I'm building this for the USAC build. I'm following the USAC guys and I'm building along with them. And then if we start seeing all these other people that aren't content creators, there's content creator supporters. Okay. Is because they watch all of our stuff and they read all of our stuff. If they want to build, and then they post on that day on whatever their favorite. I mean, can you imagine? All of a sudden, we start seeing all these finished darts on March 16th all over the place.
That's it.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to run out and buy a dart. Mark, mastering the model. Jones Mark said it right. After all the videos that he's seen, it's probably already is a monster. I think you guys have created a monster.
I'm sure I haven't seen them all either.
No. And I run into the same thing.
I think Mark,
you know, go ahead.
I think Mark, we need to contact Ravel. I think we need a freaking kickback here.
I was going to say, we need a check coming.
Yeah.
Even with our mine and Jason Hanscom's Saturday night group build, we seen Matt get in it. Mr. Mark, you're doing that 71 that is amazing. I literally had to reintroduce myself to my micrometer after watching your videos. I'm like, it's in my desk drawer. I probably should use this darn thing. But even with it,
I don't think there's a project, whether I'm scratch building or not, when I'm evening up or leveling side, I use that mic all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And my Murphy's rules and that kind of stuff, man, I mark everything with those things.
Yeah, you got to. Yeah, well, we know you guys have families. Y'all have a lot of things to do that doesn't involve our little old channel, but do either one of you all, or let's do it one at a time. Mr. Matt, first and foremost, Jason and I'm speaking for Jason right now, but I know that he agrees with me. thank you. We reached out to you talking about the USAC build, and you reached out to Mr. Mark, and Mr. Mark, I reached out to you. He got me his number, and I reached out to him. So I want to say thank you so much for that. And is there anything, and I'm sure there is because I know you, is there anything that you'd like to promote outside of the USAC build before we sign off?
Yeah. Luca Cee products, awesome resin. You need anything, you go over to Luca Cee products page on Facebook, see what we got. We just did some restocking of those front ends to turn the 4-wheel drive into 2-wheel drive of that Deserter, that MPC 80 Chevy pickup, and also it works on the sod bus. Jason, help me out. Not you, Jason. Jason Bluox.
The sod
It's a
buster.
he's always like, it's a sod buster.
It is a sod
Oh
buster.
my god. I mean,
During the podcast, it was called the Clod Buster, which that's not it. The
Clod
Clod Buster is
That's
the old
the
Tamiya,
Clodbuster's
Tamiya
RC
car.
car. Yeah.
Yeah,
that Clodbuster was
Sod
an
buster.
old RC car.
Yep, that's what
Yep.
I get it, man.
So,
But yeah, so we got that, and plus more of the 74 conversions, and more new things are coming out. And you just go over to andyshhq.com and you punch in the search Luka with a K, Luka, and all my stuff comes up. And
Awesome.
buy. Isn't it? How about that? That's some
And I've got some. I've
That's
got
some
some
taking
of his
advantage,
stuff, too,
isn't it?
It's some really good stuff.
why I don't let you have any. How do you
and there's this little and Matt, there's this little thing that you and some other fellas do and get together and similar to what we're doing. What is that called?
Oh, I didn't want to pump. It's the Scale Model Car Podcast. Yeah,
check it out.
over at Spotify. We're trying to figure out how we can get onto other ones, but right now on Spotify, we just did our 25th one. We're coming up on doing it for a year.
Congratulations.
And Jason, you tell me, not you, Jason, my Jason. Jason, when the heck is the date that you started? It was like right before our birthdays, wasn't
on the
it?
Discord
We're
and
looking
the
at-
Coast to Coast Hobby. You got Jason H and then
Yeah.
Jason KRD.
I believe we are going to be Friday taping our next show on Friday, and we should have it up during the weekend. And that is going to be our year anniversary, this next show. Look at that. BG, you're on here too, right? It's that
BG was.
put that in the
BG
show notes,
signed off.
BG. That just dawned on me. That's our year anniversary. How cool is that?
That's awesome.
We have such a good
Cool.
time on that. It's just 4 guys, just basically what happened tonight. We're just BSing about models,
Just having
model
fun.
cars, because we love it.
But you guys
Right.
also opened it up like the Insanity podcast, the Model Insanity thing. When I originally looked for when Jason Hanscom told me about the podcast, I went looking for it and I didn't know what, didn't have all the information, or he probably gave me all the information. I just didn't remember. And
Yeah,
I found them. I'm
Probably
like,
that.
this is kind of funny, but it's not what I'm looking for. But after you guys having Rob on the 25th,
Robin and Tooch.
yep. I
Yeah,
immediately, because that was the last one on y'all, so I immediately switched over to them and have been laughing. If nothing else, listening to that Long Island accent and the way those two play off each other,
Yeah.
it's amazing. But
the
I
thing
warned you
about-
in advance. Don't
The
have
thing about
the
them,
wife around and don't have your children around if you got it on
No.
speaker.
Well, I'll tell you, the one thing about them, what I really liked about them, was even though like the majority of them are tank builders, but they're airplane builders and stuff like that, and the things that they discuss is so in depth into the hobby and modeling. It's like you're not even thinking about, oh, I'm a car builder and they're tank builders. They're talking about stuff that's relevant to our hobby. They really, really kind of completely start blurring the lines, and it doesn't matter what you build as long as you're building a model, a scale model, and they really do that well. That's what I like about them. And and you know, so it's really some really great information, and they working very hard. That's why they came to our podcast, and they were one of the ones, all the other podcasts, they were like so open armed to us, saying, yeah, you're part of us, you know, that it's about modeling, and we're all starting to go on to everybody's podcast, because it's like it's about bringing the hobby together, not just the car guys, not just the tank guys and stuff. And I think that's an important thing, because I'll tell you, I have gotten to become really, really good friends with I just saw a guy, I haven't seen him for a while because he started a business, and we've been friends over at Annie's forever, and he's a total tank guy. But I learned so much from him over the years, and I just always enjoyed hanging out with him and hanging out with the other guys. There's like a crew over at Andy's that we've been going there for 20 years. One's a sci-fi builder, one's an airplane builder, one's a tank builder, a couple tank builders. And it just doesn't matter. We have a lot to talk about because we build models. And that's where everybody...
You'd be proud to know, Matt. You'd be very, very proud to know that Mr. Jason has put it out that the Scale Model Car Podcast has a Discord. And he did mention the most important thing about that podcast is you have to send Chuck hate mail. Send Chuck
everybody's been slacking on that. Everybody's been slacking on that, and it's like we look forward to that.
I know, and he does too. He feels bad, like he's trying to be extra mean just to get hate mail.
Yeah, and he's good at it too. He's really good at it.
He's good at it. What about
you,
Mark? You got something you want to push or promote? We all know your channel, but just in case there's somebody on here you want
how about this hobby? Well, if you're not familiar with my channel, it's HobbyDude007 or Mark Batson Model Cars. Either way, head over, and if you haven't checked it out, hey, take a look. But biggest thing is build a model car, guys. Have some fun with it, and let's just promote the hobby. That's the big
absolutely. Hey, but Mark, you do have a product that you could promote. I think it needs to be promoted.
Put it out there.
Let's see it.
Are you serious? Which one?
Oh, well, the real one.
Yes.
Well, there's that. Yes.
There's Hobby Light Cola.
Hobby Light Cola. Look at that handsome man on the cover there. You're
talking about the real thing there, aren't you?
Yeah, you're talking about the real thing. Yeah.
Well, if you like hot sauce, Hippie Dude, who is a character on my channel, well, a person on my channel, Hippie Dude has a hot sauce, and as it says, I don't know if you can read that on the bottom, but it says, "It ain't cool, man." But so Hippie Dude hot sauce. This is habanero, yellow Scotch bonnet pepper. There's a few other things in there too, and it's pretty stout, guys. But if you like hot sauce, Hippie Dude hot sauce. So
and if you guys don't know who Hippie Dude is, just go back into Mark's history a little bit on his. But my favorite one, I don't know, we had this conversation last night in our little pregame, but the twas the night before. No, the Luca Cee hobby night.
Little Luca, yeah.
Little
I'm going to be posting. Night. I'm going to be reposting that every Christmas.
I love that.
It's going to be like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
So hilarious.
I haven't received my little Luca yet, but
haven't you? I'll have to do something.
That is so funny.
That's hilarious.
That cracked me up.
Jason, I did want to follow up to that about the big BG somewhere in there. So
the BG one was funny as well.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Now, hey, even if it's not model car related, I want to have fun with it.
Oh man, you're having fun.
Or if it's slightly off.
The silent movie for the BG package.
Oh man,
I had to pick on him about that too.
That was hilarious.
It's just fun stuff.
Yeah.
Jason, you got something you want to say before we sign off?
No, I'm good. I really appreciate both of you guys coming on here. You guys answered a lot of questions. I think for a lot of people, the chat's been very active. It's been very hard to keep up with it. But I appreciate it. And like I said, the USAC build means a lot to me. Both your channels mean a lot to me. Same with Mr. Hascom that's in here. And then I just want to plug too. Go over there and check out the Spotify channel for Luca, Matt, Chuck, and Matt, Chuck, Jason, and BG, of course. And we're gonna have BG on next week, right, Mike?
Yep, BG's on. BG's scheduled for next week. Absolutely. So
yeah, so that's
hold
going to
his
be a
feet
lot
to
of
the fire.
fun.
That'll be
Hold
fun.
his feet to the fire.
Yeah.
all right.
Any sponsors that you want to mention? Either one of you guys that help
I
support
just
your
want to
channel?
say to all three of you guys, thank you.
Yeah.
This
Thank
has
you.
been a lot of fun. So
You're
appreciate it.
Absolutely.
welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome
Matt,
here
you got
anytime.
anything besides your old selfless plugs that you've been
Nah,
putting
that's
out
my
there?
own-
You got anything else for us?
Nope, that'd be
That's
it. You know, there's so many of them. I don't really have sponsors, but I have a lot of friends that have companies, and I always throw out shout outs, and there's just so many of them, you know, that you know, they all know who they are, and I just anybody who does great things for the hobby is like aces for me. So
Well, we would be remiss if we didn't let our awesome producer Bruce at least get in some questions for you
yeah,
guys.
Bruce,
He's
you're
been
just kind of like in the
backstage
shadows.
handling all the questions, and he's absolutely the brains in this outfit.
Oh, he's
I'm
the hardest
mouthpiece.
work in this hour.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm
He's
the
been keeping
mouthpiece.
us on air.
Jason's the guy that asks the good questions, and I'm the guy that just makes a lot of noise. If you wanted to compare it to the Scale Model Car podcast, I'm the Luca. I'm the guy that just makes noise that nobody listens to. But Bruce, you got questions? You got questions for our
That's for
awesome
sure.
guests tonight before we sign off?
All right, you guys pretty much covered it. I just wanted to say thank you very much to both you guys for showing
Appreciate
up and giving us the story. I mean, it was interesting. It was hard to listen and watch the chat and type at the same time.
Yeah.
So, but
Hey,
thank you.
Bruce
Thank you very
recorded.
much.
You
No
kept
problem.
us
Buddy
alive.
has
So,
the toughest
Thanks for
job.
working so hard
Has
on
the
this.
toughest job for sure.
Yeah.
Bruce, you kept
thank
us
you.
alive. So thank you.
Thank
You're
you guys
welcome.
again. We appreciate it. Thank you, chat. As we expected, it was the largest chat that we've had, largest viewers that we had. The last time I
wow.
looked, we were north
Really?
of 50.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for that. I know a
Even
lot
with
of them
him
were-
on here?
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I expected
Do me a
5.
favor. Do me a favor.
See,
don't ever
there's
ask
Mark
me again to
towing
come
the
on
way
this.
again.
Oh,
Mark towing the way.
Yeah.
Bring old
Hey.
Luca Cee up behind him.
Yeah, just
Hey,
don't
got plenty
ask
of.
me again.
No,
Please.
seriously, I got a lot of love for this guy. High five there, Matt.
And
Yeah.
where's your oh?
We're pals. We're
Glitching.
partners.
That's it. Well, appreciate you guys. Appreciate the chat. It's been awesome. Thank you so much. I know that I speak for everybody when we say, oh, before we sign off, one more quick question. Can our viewers expect to maybe down the road see you guys on here individually so we can talk a little bit more about
I
you
just
guys?
told you never ask me again.
I know you did.
He
I
wasn't
don't pay
listening.
attention to
But you were
and
talking
maybe I
and you didn't hear
wasn't.
what I said. I said, okay, enough. Don't ask me again. I done it. I did my part. I paid my
Maybe or maybe
tribute.
not. I was asking a generic question that was really for
Anytime.
Mark.
Anytime.
I think you know both of us. Yeah, we would be happy to. I'm sure. I'm speaking to him now. So,
Oh, heck yeah.
all right, Matt, hush.
Love doing this stuff.
Yes, he'll do it.
If you can put a muzzle on that dog, Matt, or Mark, you are very good because he just keeps on. You ever heard the outtakes next to the turtle story with Jason? He has
Oh,
the
my.
best outtakes.
Can we
All right,
have
Jason Ravage
Chuck?
again.
It would be an honor. It would be an honor sometime to just again
absolutely.
have fun, talk model cars. Yeah,
Absolutely. Good
Maybe
night
even some
to
big
the
cars.
chat. And y'all be good. Thank you again. We're gonna go ahead and sign off. We had our longest podcast at an hour and a half. Or live cast.
Yep.
Live
Wow.
cast,
Live
man.
cast.
I slipped.
Live cast.
Okay.
All right, guys. Y'all be good.
I
Be
get-
safe, and we'll talk to you later.
Take care, guys.
Big old thumbs
Later,
up,
guys.
everybody.
thanks.
Big old
Bye,
thumbs up.
everybody.
Where are they at, guys?
Yep,
Give
night.
them big old thumbs ups.